Hey, welcome. Tara here, coming to you live from my living room. And you should know that I almost did not do this video today, but I totally felt that it was worthwhile to talk about having proper self-care. And hey Whitney. And it was a really good reminder this morning. I won't spend too much time, but I'm going to share a little story with you. That also reminded me to exhibit some really solid self-care. And I'll share a little bit more about it on a wall post here on Facebook later, so look for it. But here I was in line waiting at the drop-off lane this morning to take my daughter to school. We do this every morning. We've done it for the last 2 years. And this guy around me pulls up alongside of me and just looks at me in disgust. And it was just this really nasty kind of like condescending stare, like, how dare I be in that lane, and he should be able to get his kid out. And anyway, my daughter, with her, autism, we were believing for her healing, but for safety reasons and concerns, we have an administrator come get her every morning for the last 2 years, just for routine purposes, but also from the standpoint that, heaven forbid, if something should go wrong and she's out of her routine, what could potentially happen with that. And with autism, it's really important to keep kids in a structure and routine because they really thrive on that. And I want her to get the best education possible. And we don't have buses that do pick up because we're school of choice. We chose this district because it was known for special needs. And so it was the perfect district for her. And we had really prayed about it, and we felt very solid and at peace about that decision. And so that is what determined our decision at the end of the day. And the other part to that is that my daughter, the younger one, for the last over a week now, has been running fevers. Please keep her in prayer and your thoughts. And she's just still not eating. She's, still hydrated and taking lots of Pedialyte in bottles, but she's only eating a bite of food here and there and then not eating at all. And we're offering it to her considerably more to get her well, but it's raining. It's kind of yucky out. I really didn't want to drag her out in the elements. And as you can hear, I'm kind of hoarse myself and feeling under the weather, and actually slept most of Mother's Day. And so for that reason, he couldn't have possibly have known that. But it was just a really great reminder that no, we're in this lane, A, because we want to care for my oldest daughter, but also B, because, I want to take care of our other daughter, and I also want to take care of myself. And self-care is so important because if you're running on fumes, you can't help the amount of people that you're meant to help. And you can't take care of the needs of other people the way that you are called to do. I'm not talking about just the way that you want to do, but the way that you're called to, because it's not just always about wanting. I mean, desire is a really good thing to have. But you know what? It's also about what God has ordained and purposed in your life for you to do. And sometimes that's a little bit different than what we think we should be doing, right? But we can't hear his voices clearly. We can't hear the things that we're meant to hear if we're not taking care of ourselves first. And that was almost why I didn't do the Facebook Live today. But I felt like, even though I'm under the weather, it was a really good reminder that, yes, we take care of ourselves so that we can be the best mom. We can be the best wife. We can be the best, whatever role it is, teacher, mentor, guidance counselor, referee. I mean, moms and dads, or people in general, have so many hats these days. Whatever that role is that you are called to be, whatever hat you wear, if you're going to wear it with the best possible, you got to get that proper rest and that proper sleep. And sometimes that means taking a step back and not only setting boundaries for other people, but also setting boundaries for yourself. So that way, A, you don't burn out. B, you think and have more clarity. C, you're able to do the things that you're called to do. And sometimes that means being efficient, and sometimes it is in a timely manner. Sometimes it's not. You can pace yourself with it a little bit more. But no matter what, whatever that looks like, you have a place that you're ordained to be. And you were called to a time such as now for a reason. And there's a reason that you're called in the season that you're called into. And you're called to that specific place for a reason. And that could mean that you have specific instructions, specific accountability that you're supposed to go under. It could mean that it's a time of learning and growth for you. So don't look at rest like it's really easy to feel guilty for. I know yesterday I was really tempted to, for example, I'll be really honest and raw with you. Like I was tempted to feel kind of lazy, like I wasn't being productive. But then I had a really good reminder that that could be where I spend the most amount of time praying, where I take time to really learn and see where God is taking me and what he's leading me to do. And maybe the season for this moment is just to receive the instruction or the information or the downloads that he's given me, whether that's for now or later down the road, or whether I'm supposed to share that with somebody. If I'm not taking time, what I'm saying is that rest can be opportunity waiting to happen. Amen. I mean, I know most of us don't look at it like that. We're like, really? We have to slow down and rest because that's really what you want, God. You just want us to rest. You don't want us to do anything else. You just want us to rest. Well, sometimes he just wants us to rest so that way we can receive. Sometimes less is more. And this is one of those situations where even though you think you're down and out, it's the perfect setup for God to propel you forward in your life. And he can catapult you literally. And sometimes it doesn't even look like the way that you thought it was going to look, right? Like you thought you were just going to go tear it up, build all this massive momentum and get her done, right? Well, it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes it's in the soft, subtle, gentle spot that God is doing the greatest work. So even if everything looks like crickets or, like little grasshoppers and you're like, what the heck is going on? Even if it looks like that, I'm just here to share with you that appearances can absolutely be deceiving. And it's not always what you think it is. Your growth is not always what you think it is. Your learning curve isn't always what you think it is. But if you take the time and the subtleties to hear the clear, small voice, that's where you'll receive the most downloads and information. That's where you'll receive the most growth and development. And remember, in order to take off with it in the direction that you're going, whether that's relationships, personally, finances, whatever that looks like for you, always remember that you have to receive the information first. Ooh, that's really good. You have to receive the information first before you can carry out a plan. Okay, in other words, you're not going to start, okay, you want to make a cake, right? You're not just going to go off and make the cake the way you think that the cake should be made. You're going to follow the recipe, right? You're going to receive the recipe first, then you're going to make the cake. Well, our lives are the same way. We got to receive the recipe of the steps that we need to take. In other words, we need the instructions and the information of that recipe before we can carry out the action steps and before we can see that fruit come into fruition. But I promise you, if you take that time to just receive, just to rest and receive and take care of yourself and get the information that you need, it could be the biggest setup and catapult you've ever seen. It could really take you to that next level. And maybe this is something that you've been praying for, but you didn't see that this was your answer. And I really feel like somebody needs to hear this today. Like you just need to step back and just rest and really receive. I feel the anointing all over it. I can totally feel the Lord right now. And it's not just you, it's me too. Because I have to take the step back too. I'm really tempted. This is the week that my daughter has her birthday. And, there's so many things. There's like still so many projects seriously that need done. It would be really easy for me to receive overwhelmed. I don't receive it, but instead I'm choosing like, nope, we're not going to sit here and we're not going to do, and we're not going to get in that mode of do. We're going to take a break and we're going to rest and we're going to receive what steps we need to take when, so that I don't burn out and so that the work that I'm called to do around the party and around being mom and around being wife I'm still able to do those things because I have the strength and I have the wisdom and I have the knowledge, but I also have the understanding and I have the rest. I replenished my batteries and now I can actually do something with it. Anyway, I hope that this message helped you. And I just encourage you, if you're in that place where you're like, oh, I feel under the weather, I'm kind of tired, don't be afraid to take that step back and just rest and receive. We should do that anyway. Daily, we should do that at some point or as often as we can. But truthfully, we should totally do that, especially when we're under the weather. But we should be doing it anyway. But just know that when you rest and you relax and you receive, it's a good thing. This is a good place to be. This is the answer to your prayer. This is the answer to that next step you need to take. So don't just keep going. Rest so that you can receive. Anyway, it's been really good being here with you. I'm going to hop off here now. I'm actually going to go take some time to rest and relax and kind of recharge my batteries for when my oldest gets off school. But it was really great being here with you today. I'm going to leave my contact details in the comment section, so look for them. There are a lot of really cool things happening this week and the upcoming months. And to learn more, I really encourage you. I'm going to leave it in the comment section, but my VIP list link, you've kind of heard me mentioning about it. Definitely click on that, put your name and your email, and click on the subscribe button. And that way we can totally keep in touch that way as well. And you can stay tuned to all the updates that are happening. If you're curious about what I do in business, I'm going to also leave that as well. Definitely give that a click, watch the video, follow the prompts, go from there. And I would love to connect with you that way. It's been really good being here with you. I am, just as an FYI, going to try to connect with you this week. I want to keep things consistent. I don't want to get off of not sharing content because there is some good momentum building. So in order to still be here with you and stick things out with you, can we just agree to be a little patient with me this week? I am going through some changes, literally. I'm not ready to share all that information yet, but at some point I will. But there's a lot of really good things happening, so you should know that. It's nothing bad. It's all good. But for this reason, and because of my daughter's party and still my younger one not feeling well, and me kind of being back and forth under the weather, I am trying to take it a little bit easier. So I'm going to try to connect with you at least a couple more times this week. So just stay tuned for updates. I know that doesn't tell you where to go with information for the next day like I would normally do. But this is kind of the spot that I'm in the moment that I'm in. And I just ask that you give me a little bit of grace. And I think we can agree to that and understand that as a mom. Sometimes we just need some grace. So I'm just asking you to hold me accountable in the grace area. But I will be in touch with you. Just stay tuned to my Facebook wall throughout the week. And I will give you some updates on when that next Facebook Live will be. All right. Thanks so much, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Until next time. Bye-bye for now.